On the afternoon of Friday, August 7th, just before 4 p.m., a construction crane experienced a catastrophic failure, slamming its boom into the communal outdoor pool on my apartment building's 7th floor. The entire apartment shook upon impact. I wasn't there to witness the collapse, but did arrive about an hour after the fact. I didn't immediately process that a crane had collapsed about 30 feet from my back patio. I thought that it was deliberately moved there. A few minutes later, I stepped outside to get a look, curious to see what was being built. It took a few seconds, but the mangled steel, the 2 helicopters in the sky, and the half-dozen first responders I saw finally clicked. This wasn't intentional, far from it. It was a spectacle, but it was also pretty chill. I stood on a back patio chair to get a clearer view, and overheard an official-looking gentleman remark, "Thankfully, no one was injured." Caution tape had already gone up, with multiple people inspecting the scene. Their temperament was professional and nonchalant. The crane boom impacted the deeper side of our apartment's communal pool, along its southeastern edge. According to Channel 7 News Miami, the crane was being assembled at a construction site on Southwest 2nd Avenue. That's a lot northeast of my building. The crane wasn't in operation when it collapsed. I suspect the author of this video heard groaning metal and began filming, or their vlog was rudely interrupted. To quote, "Miami Fire Rescue says the city's building department has deemed the garage under the pool safe, but the pool deck will remain closed until all the damage is cleaned up." The 130 to 140 foot section of failure consisted of the crane's boom. This is the long arm perpendicular to the tower, which holds it in place. The collapse deformed this boom heavily in 2 places, which is most prominent in this shot. Several components remained connected after the collapse, like these wire ropes connecting back to the area right next to the operator cab. I'm no crane expert, so I won't speculate as to what purpose they served. The collapse video doesn't seem to show a suspended load, nor could I see a hook that a load may be attached to. Again, this isn't my area of expertise, so there may have been some other attachment at the end of the boom. Even without a visible suspended load, there's still considerable weight and resulting forces passing through the crane as it's being built. The 2 obvious bends may document how the collapse progressed, but that's about it. It's hard to tell exactly what started this entire collapse, and it's also unclear what caused the deformation. It could have been during the fall. It could have been when the boom struck the pool, or it could have been when the remaining connections pulled against it. I'll leave it to the crane experts to investigate the cause. The most we can drum up from this footage is where the boom deformed and where it ultimately came to rest. That weekend, the accident remained untouched and the pool remained closed. Monday night was when the scene began to change. The situation was also the solution. Add more cranes. The cleanup crew began around 6 p.m., and a large mobile crane had been brought in, positioned next to the tower crane and its limp boom. From above, caution tape continued marking off the deck with the boom still partially submerged in the pool. I can imagine it was stressful for the crew next door. They wanted to get this fixed as soon as possible, but also had to plan and execute with precision. I returned with my drone on August 19th. 12 days after the collapse. The fallen boom was gone. The twisted red steel was cleared out, laid flat on the neighboring construction site. The tower itself still stood, but the cab and everything connected to it vertically had been removed. Back at the apartment, the pool was drained and the impact area still exposed. But the deck had been cleared of wreckage that had been lying there less than 2 weeks earlier. It's not every day something like this happens in your backyard. It's fair to say, this could have been so much worse. I'm thankful no one was injured, and thankful the damaged pool deck didn't collapse into the parking garage below. What angered me at first was the seeming lack of explanation from the company who set up the job site. I can also understand their perspective and litigation pressures. Keep your mouth shut and clean up the mess. It's very possible the root cause isn't simple to explain and will take time and efforts to fully discover. I can also empathize with people on site, and possibly in the crane, that day. Talk about a bad day at the office. Finally, I was away during the bulk of the cleanup. There very well could have been communication I missed from my building administrators, or the construction firm. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you. If you'd like access to the original full cuts of the drone footage for commercial purposes, or have drone projects you want to discuss, my email is talk_2_Liam@proton.me. My website is itsliam.com. Notes and citations can be found in the description, plus news articles I've been interviewed for in relation to the incident. Thanks for watching.